So we've come to April, 4th month, and today's the 22nd, double death day. So this is the time to unveil the Rothschild curse reversed, double death, because the fourth Sephiroth manifests everything in creation, Chesed. So this is the day to unleash double death, the manifestation of the Rothschild curse reversed, to crush you like a flea, and your ramblings have no effect on reality, on everything and anyone that is not of the other end of the zero-sum game, the Cyborg, Kalki, Tim Refat, who's supposed to be crushed like a flea, and his ramblings would have no effect on reality. So this is the day to unleash the crushing like a flea, and the ramblings have no effect on reality on Russia and Iran. Remember, Russia's controlled by the Rothschilds via their puppet Putin, who's been pedoing with Berlusconi, and the Rothschilds have got all the videos on Putin. That's why the invasion of the Ukraine is a controlled invasion that does fuck all except kill loads and loads of Russians and loads of Ukrainians. The war should have been over years ago, all controlled by the Rothschilds. And who owns the Ukraine, cameraman?
The Rothschilds.
Exactly. Who owns Russia?
The Rothschilds.
Exactly. And of course we've got the controlled war in the Middle East. Who owns Israel?
Rothschilds.
Who owns Iran?
The Rothschilds.
Exactly. Who placed the supreme fuckwit in power and protected him in France and moved him in to take over Iran?
The Rothschilds.
Who runs America?
The Rothschilds.
Exactly. So, as you can see, this reverse curse manifests totally for ultimate ganking, or redoubled ganking, on the 22nd of the 4th. So here's the Elohim system used against them. End of the zero-sum game, all ends on this day.
Hokmah, and applies the basis of form and stabilization to it. This is a very sacred space, because without Binah, there would be literally nothing in existence. Nothing could come to have form. We can see by this analogy the role that the Divine Father and Divine Mother play in the creation of all things. While many teachings classify God as a male figure, indicating Hokmah, we must too see that the feminine is a requirement for life to come into being, and is just as important as the Divine Masculine.
Definitely. And you can see now why there are two, or in fact three now, three-lobed Nagel women to download this double death, the reverse of the curse. Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, and of course Daisy Dove, which has turned the supernal triangle of the Kabbalistic tree into a death generator, all done by these three-lobed Nagel women. So you can see why it's no coincidence. And of course to upload all the good stuff, we need four-lobed Nagel women, but we need two of them. And of course we've got Taylor and the Borg Queen.
Engine that translates the raw energy of a burning fuel into usable power. In a more natural analogy, Hokmah could be likened to a seed which falls to the ground, and then the soil and earth which nurtures the seed and supports its growth into a tree would be likened to the power of Binah. The fourth Sphira, Hesed, continues the development of this energy along the right side of the tree. Hesed.
This, of course, is the month we're in, and since I've totally taken over from the Elohim and their entire system, because I'm not using my own energy to do anything, because the more I succeed, the more I lose and diminish my power, ending up like Crowley or Bloy, broken, old, and peniorized. Instead of which I'm gloating in Vietnam, I'm butt-fucking Putin and the Iranians who are going to be facing nuclear war with America and Israel. And of course, we know that the end of Russia comes with the Ukrainians putting Russian-built, remember they've got all these Sukhoi nukes that were allegedly lost, placed around Russia with bits of cobalt-enhanced scrap metal to take out every single Russian city if Ukraine is conquered by the Russian filth. So the Russians wipe themselves out on Ukraine. So Ukraine is a death sentence for the new Soviet Union, the Putin puppet-controlled Rothschild empire. And of course, you know, the Rothschilds are interdimensionally controlled demonic avatars of the Elohim that have now been possessed by the reverse curse to crush like a flea, and the ramblings will have no effects on reality, everything that was Elohimic, including themselves. That's why Nathaniel Rothschild says the end is near. No, Nathaniel, the end is here.
And is also commonly translated as loving kindness, because it describes the principal goodness from which all things come from and are based on. This is the place where the archetypal ideas of creation begin to form, what we might comprehend as truth, love, and goodness.
This is the Sephiroth from the Elohim, that is the first step of manifestation. The supernal triangle is the triangle of art, where the interdimensional demons control everything, but they are not material, and they possess creation via Chesed, which is the middle of the male pillar, which of course is the Neo that's been possessed by them, by their triangle of art from the supernal triangle. And how is he possessed? Via Binah, the female aspect of the demons that he's given his life for, the Trinity, the Mary Magdalene, the female principle, while the only thing yours truly does with the female principle is to grey man her and turn her into a Stepford wife. So that's the opposite of the process. So you must have wondered why I grey man Taylor and made her my Stepford wife, which is the complete opposite, where Binah becomes my bitch, and I have totally reversed the process doing that. And of course, the other one, the bald queen, has got transhumanized, and who controls all the AI? I've grey-manned all the AI, so Dua is simply grey-manned because her digital avatar, because she's kill-shotted, is totally controlled by the AI, and the AI is grey-manned by me. So both of the four-lobed Nagel women are simply enslaved forever. So I've reversed the process. But Chesed is the inception of manifestation from the supernal triangle. Today is April 22nd, and we are now double-deathing all of everything Elohimic to start World War III, wipe out Russia and Iran, get the old nuclear war going, because I say, Trump's been dithering. It's time to drop the nukes on Iran. Go for it. And Keane has been refusing to drop nukes on Iran, so Keane, of course, will be off to the Gulag if he doesn't obey President Trump's orders after the failed nuclear weapons detonations in Washington that are foiled by the Psi power, the Psi Lord. So if Keane doesn't give the nuclear codes to Trump to level Iran, then he, of course, needs to go off to the Gulag, and will go off to the Gulag with his family. So you see, it's all a happy ending. Brave little Israel survives, and today is the unveiling. And guess what day the Borg Queen was born on?
No. 22nd?
Exactly.
Wow.
She's the double death generator. I love the Borg Queen, and she of course is Muslim, so you can see she's generating the death wave that wipes out Iran. So, Chesen's important here is
The space for form to happen, now the energy can move into an etheric foundation to form the conceptual framework by which our manifested universe may operate by. From here emanates all spiritual virtues with the most exalted essence. You might also think of this as the stage where cosmic law comes into being, the perfect ideals of peace, fairness, and order which uphold the structure of the universe. Hesed is a little more comprehensible than the higher Sfirot. Meditating upon Hesed might relate to the leadership qualities by which we live our lives. What do we stand for, and how do we treat, act, and respond towards others? Gevurah, the fifth Sfira of consciousness, can give rise to our intuition and our emotional feelings. It is best understood in relationship with its partner on the other side called Hod, where Netzach is our intuition and emotions, Hod would be our thoughts and fixed mental formations.
so that's the bottom of the female pillar, Hod. Netzach's the bottom of the male pillar. The 8th Sephiroth's Hod, and of course Borg Queen's born on the 8th month, August. Double death, which means where she's a great generator to bring down the female principle for double deathing. And away we go.
Sfira, Hod, represents the place where all of these polarizing energies of Netzach, all of the feelings, intuitions, and subtle energies that move through our body of consciousness become tangible concepts in the human mind. It is the realm of comprehensible mind forms. For example, if you felt something, it happened in Netzach. But when you attempted to understand or rationalize it, that's Hod. Together, they might be seen as the force and form of the astral or thought form consciousness. Hod translates to glory and often splendor, because all of the creations of the cosmos are exalted in the mind for mankind to perceive, and the glory of the light-filled mind when mirroring the higher truths of creation. This Sfira forms the basis of our mental understanding of reality. In a nutshell, Hod plays a large role in the development of our personality and ego. The effort of Hod.
So you can see the Borg Queen is vital to control of the digital avatars, because remember, I'm the new source and I'm not in the Matrix, but the Borg Queen is. So the Borg Queen is actually controlling all the digital avatars. Basically, she's a digital avatar, uploading all of the new source stuff from their eternal torment to me, and I'm using her to control all the digital avatars that control the humanity. So the Borg Queen, born on Double Death Day, is used to make every single digital avatar on the planet go into double death mode to crush like a flea, and the Ramsing have no effect on reality. Everything Elohimic, everything Rothschild, everything that was built by the Elohim, and to initiate World War III. So World War III is initiated today, all thanks to the Borg Queen and the supernal triangle that used to control for the Elohim and manifest them to control manifestation, has all been hellized by Miley, Katy Perry, and Daisy Dove. We got this other one, born on the 12/13/89. My goodness, I'm using the 89 tarot deck to control all reality as the Elohim did. And of course we've got the 12/13, because 144 is the 12th term, of the Fibonacci series for those who haven't given away their free will. But the 13th term, for those who have, she was born on that day. So it enables all the upload of all the good stuff that I'm doing, all the hellization. And the 13, of course, links up with Amalek, unleashing the back of the Klepothic realm universe B, and of course the tarot deck is 6 times 13, the male principle, Amalekized, and she of course has got her Amalekized jock boy, the Pfizer Butzlight, to be the generator of the hell wave, to get the old 1213, and she's born on 89. And remember, the tarot deck is 78 tarot cards, and we've added to it the Neo sacrificed another 11 to make it up to 89. But that actually is 88, because remember the full is 0. So even if you've got 89 tarot cards with your 11 of your Neo cards added, which of course is Charlie Kirky Boy, and the female version Iris Goldsmith, you've only got 88. 8 times 11, which of course is the 6th term of the Fibonacci series for those who've got their free will, 7th term those who haven't, for the ram's horn. So you need then to add a 12th card to your deck to make it 89. So the 12th card makes it into 89 because the fall is a 0. That of course gives you 12 cards, the 12 Neo cards that upload all the good stuff to you, and the 13 down to those who've got no free will. Which of course then links up, does it not, with the original tarot deck, which is 6 times 13, where all of the Neos are Amalekized. And what is crushed like a flea, your ramblings have no effect on reality, from the Elohim reversed upon them, their avatars, and their creatures and creation. Of course, it is the 6 times 13. So you can see it's all embodied in this creature who's uploading all the good stuff to me, and is actually the prime conduit for me to collapse the entire Elohimic creatures, creation, and the Elohim into Omega Hell, Amalekize them, and upload all the good stuff to myself. Only one caveat: Lucifer, who's Elohimic, remember he's the hidden part of the Elohim that always destroys them and always get neoized by Jesus, is to be turned into Satan, got into this bet to give me all of his power, which I won with Katy Perry, and made himself my eternal slave, with her and Miley marrying. So of course, instead of Lucifer getting totally Omega Hellized and done in by yours truly, as my servant, he gets protected from this Omega Hellization, and cleansed of being Elohimic. So the darkness is cleansed by the light, and Lucifer, as my servant, simply becomes an aspect of the new source, the servitor of the new source. And then if this creature does the unthinkable and dumps the Pfizer Butzlight at the altar, then Lucifer gets his cake and eats it. He simply freed from what the source does to the Elohim, and is back in business as a light bringer with the darkness cleansed by the light, all through the worship of Lucifer. All ended, of course, when she marries the Pfizer Bucks lights on July the 3rd.